let me show you around Notting Hill. I love the area, and especially the fact that I used to live in that house right there. This street is St. Luke's Mews. I'm Tais and I'm here in Notting Hill Gate. I'm just coming out of the tube and heading over to Portobello Market, where we're going to explore the world famous street stalls that have been here historically, dating back to about 150 years old. You may know the area quite well from the movie Notting Hill, which starred Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. It's a very cool, alternative kind of area, and mixed with quite an affluent influence. Shopping at the Hearst Collection. It's just at the entrance between Notting Hill Gate Tube and as we're turning left onto Portobello Road. So right where all the beautiful houses are that I'm going to show you. But what do you think of this, guys? Should I buy it? I absolutely love this place. Notting Hill is one of my favorite places in London. It's a destination that I feel I can relate to because I used to live here. It is one of the first destinations that I went to when I first left Australia. Portobello Road is considered a must on the bucket list and always features on any London itinerary, with good reason. Portobello Road isn't just pretty, it's also alive, bustling with personality. I'm just coming up to the very start of where the actual market starts. I've only made it about 50 meters in the past 3 hours. I've really soaked everything in. I've taken just about everything in. There's a very cool pub behind me, the one with the flowers. Coffee shops everywhere. You can just about stop on every single coffee shop. Guaranteed to be satisfied with just about most coffee destinations. And here we are where the actual stalls and stands are. So if you're looking for antiques, haberdashery, pots, pans, magnets, typical touristy things, a lot of dogs, a lot of people, a lot of bags, figurines for kids like old soldiers if you want to hand paint them. If you're into stamp collecting, there's places you can buy and sell stamps. Of course, the costume jewellery, that's a given. Old British flags. We've got old British flags here. Admiral Vernon, they've got vinyl, they've got Grease. I don't know what the oh, 2001 Space Odyssey, that's a classic. And Clockwork Orange. James Bond, the original. Clockwork Orange. Oh, how could you not? Oasis. It's just starting to rain. Let's have a look inside here.
What's your name? Maxwell, you've lost your voice. Maxwell, what was the inspiration You got bullied at school? Well, look how successful you are now. And where are they? Exactly, exactly. You should be proud.
This dude that I met makes these incredible hats and he's selling them right here in Portobello markets. There's so many colours to choose from. There's red, yellow, brown, green, whatever you like. There's even feathers or what is it? A tie. It's an old tie. He's recycled fabric and embroidered it onto the hats, and he tells me in his spare time as a hobby he makes these hats. Meanwhile, holding a full-time job. It's genius. Do you like this one?
Shopping at Portobello Road here means supporting local artists and entrepreneurs. It's easy to fall in love with many creatives who work tirelessly to create original pieces.
My name is Audrey and I'm an artist. I paint, I do abstract painting, and I live just near New Kings Road.
Which one of these are your favourite?
Which one of these are my favourite? This is my favourite. I love this head.
And why is that?
Because I love the way the artist has painted and slapped the paint on. You know, oil, it's oil painting. I love that sort of work. And also, here's another nice one which I like. 1960s. Yeah, that's 1960s, this one is.
Thank you, Audrey.
So they can come and buy. There's loads to see.
Thank you, Audrey.
If you consider yourself an art critic, there is no harm talking to the locals who enjoy spending their days discussing individual pieces. It's great to brush up on your knowledge and get their perspective. They will eat you alive with enthusiasm.
Farm Girl Cafe, food and drink served here. Oh, it looks like it used to be a church, judging it by those windows. It is. It was an old school or an old church. And they've converted it. Very nice place.
Table is ready for you if you want to go. Yeah. We would have bribed it, but
Coffee looks brilliant. Looks good. I want the coffee you've got with the flowers.
If you get hungry during your walk, you will be spoilt for choice. You could try international street food or pop into one of the many delicious Notting Hill cafes.
Oh, look at that! Beans and cheese.
like a chapa, traditional Venezuelan food.
That is typical Venezuelan food. Look at this legend. Hey, friendly, like all Venezuelans.
Yeah.
For more adventures and videos from around the world, join me on my YouTube channel and don't forget to follow me on Facebook.
It's almost coming up to the end of the day and I haven't even made it to the end of the street in Portobello. There has just been so much to see and do. I'm gonna leave you with this and show you where I used to live 22 years ago. When I first left Australia and I first went abroad, I lived here in Notting Hill on this street, St. Luke's Mews. And I'm gonna show you specifically which house that was. Can you guess what colour it was? So this street, St. Luke's Mews, is super famous because it's had supermodels living on this street. Oasis have walked down this street. A mews in the English language means pretty much horse stables. It Each one of the Mewses has a rooftop garden. There's about 5 or 6 bedrooms inside. The house that I was specifically in all those years ago, I think had 2 kitchens, 1 bathroom and 7 bedrooms. That's a lot. I can tell you my room was tiny and very expensive even for 22 years ago, because I can only imagine what the rent would be like now. I certainly can't afford it. But every time I come to this street, I feel nostalgic. I'm going to show you all the houses are beautifully redecorated, painted in these awesome colours. Have a look around. Now we're coming up to the one that I used to live in. Do you think it's the pink one? Does that sound like something I would live in? Perhaps we're looking at the grey. See, there's always someone taking photos of these places. Who wouldn't want to own one of these? But they're worth a fortune. I'm going to take a stab and say about £2 million now. This was my door. 22 years ago, I lived here in that top window there. Let me tell you a story about this house. The woman that used to own it was a fashion stylist in LA, and with her success, she bought this incredible place. I think it was very run down, and she bought it. She was very old when I rented it from her, so she bought it when it was still run down, and Notting Hill was not an affluent area. It was probably, I think she said she picked it up for $40,000 at the time. Now $40,000 back in the 60s is a lot of money. Gretchen would rent the rooms out to students. So inside this house was Americans, British, Australians, Kiwis. I think there was a Polish guy. It was a very international home, living with this lady who I'd say was probably in her 80s. After I left, not long after, unfortunately she did pass. The house inside was very she left it as it was. She didn't spend any money doing the interior, but we loved it as it was. I have big dreams and aspirations that one day I'll be able to knock on that door and offer them a price and buy it back off them, because it's my favourite home here in London. Once again, Notting Hill has exceeded my expectations. It doesn't matter how many times I walk up and down Portobello Road, there is always something new and interesting to discover. Not only that, I've made a whole bunch of new friends. I've tried on amazing hats, tried on jewellery, and quite frankly, the place deserves more than just one day. Take a whole weekend here.
I'm sure you will fall in love with Notting Hill.